Now, Silento, definitely not the kind of video I thought I would ever make in relation to Silento. At this point, you've probably seen the headlines, how we got to a place where Silento might be out here catching bodies. I don't know. All I know is that it ain't looking too good. So yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, life was very good for Silento back in 2015. That was obviously when he blew up with his Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay record. I think everyone recognizes what song I'm talking about. It's sitting at over 1.7 billion views on YouTube. It was such a big record when it blew up over 5 years ago, but just like any wave though, waves come and go, and that's exactly what happened to Silento. Watch Me was, at the end of the day, a trendy dance song that mainly appealed to a super young audience. It was hot for a little bit of time, and there was that. Silento unfortunately failed to capitalize on the success the song brought him. He did end up releasing a second edition of the track, which was Watch Me 2. Silento's first project also ended up getting released over 3 years after the original Watch Me blew up, and at that point the train had already left. That's kind of where his story unfortunately ended though, at least as an artist. There just wasn't much to Silento, man. He had an extremely big song at one point in time, failed to capitalize on that success, and everything went down from there. Done. Apart from the music though, you might remember that he made headlines back in 2020. Okay, I made a video on this for a very specific situation involving him walking into a random family's house with a hatchet. Apparently that happened because he was looking for his girlfriend inside that house, but he was pretty much walking around with a hatchet on him, entered a completely random house, and that's where he ended up getting stopped by one of the occupants inside the household. He was then taken into custody, and there was that. Around 2 weeks after this incident, something else happened. Silento ended up missing his scheduled court appearance, so pretty much he just didn't show up. His lawyer appeared in court on the behalf of him. That wasn't enough since he needed to be there himself in the flesh. A warrant was then issued for his arrest. A little over a month later, he got in some more trouble once again, and this time he got picked up for reckless driving. He did end up getting released on the same day after this arrest, and there was that. Regarding this specific arrest, some footage got released sometime after the whole incident had happened, and this is what that looked like.
Go to your car and read my ID.
Sir, you don't tell me what to do.
I'm just saying.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
But I've been through this.
You're doing 143 miles.
So at this point in the timeline, it was a non-stop cycle of Silento getting in trouble time after time after time. But wait, there's more, and I guess we could call this the nail in the coffin. The other day, some news came out regarding Silento getting arrested, and this time, oh man, I don't even know what to say. The DeKalb County Police Department, which is Atlanta Police, put up a tweet saying, "Today, Ricky Hawk, 23, was arrested for the murder of his cousin, Frederick Rooks, 34. On January 21st, the DeKalb County Police Department investigated Rooks' death after he was found shot on the Deep Shoals Circle. Hawk is in the DeKalb County Jail, charged with murder. Ricky Hawk is Silento's real name if you didn't know, and the cousin is, like the tweet said, Frederick Rooks. Now, as far as how exactly they connected Silento to the crime, they're keeping the specifics of that on a low since it is an ongoing investigation. What we do know though is that some camera footage from homes in the area captured a gunshot and vehicles fleeing the scene. I'm assuming at least one of those vehicles might have been Silento's, right? Only makes sense. Now, after this news broke, someone actually spoke out on the behalf of Silento, which was his publicist. I want to include what she said because that transitions to the next part of the video, but what she said was, "Please send my client Silento some positive vibrations. Over the past several years, Ricky has been suffering immensely from a series of mental health illnesses. We will continue his efforts of treatment, but what we ask in the meantime is that the public uplifts him and his family in immediate prayers and positive energy." I got a couple things to say about this entire situation. One of those things being, and I have to add this in, but innocent until proven guilty. Can't say that he for sure did it because, you know, he just got arrested. Gotta give it a little bit of time, right? But the fact that he was arrested in relation to this crime tells me that they have some kind of evidence connecting him to it, whatever that evidence may be. Maybe he was caught on the camera footage fleeing the scene. I don't know. Could be anything. But what I will say is that if he did it at this point, I think we all know that this didn't, come out of nowhere. I'm only saying that because, well, he went into a random house with a hatchet on him, and that's not something someone who's mentally stable would do. The point I'm trying to make is there's been a series of events that have happened that kind of led up to this, so it didn't just happen out of nowhere. And also, I think it's important to add this in, but apparently, according to his publicist, sometime last year he tried to off himself. Whether that played a part in this somehow, can't say, but man, the guy has been on a getting arrested run for the last few months leading up to this situation right here, and that makes you wonder, what exactly went wrong? How do you go from Watch Me Whip to this? It just doesn't make any sense. The thing with this Silento case is it started from a really high point, meaning here's a guy who got a really big record under his belt in the matter of weeks. That peak was obviously as high as it would end up going. Slowly but surely, things started declining because he couldn't surpass Watch Me. He tried making a comeback back with a second edition, dropped his first project years later, and at that point the train had, like I said earlier, already left. It was completely silent, no pun intended, on his end for years until he started getting in trouble with the law. One arrest led to another and another and another, and now we've officially hit a low point in his entire story. I don't know how much him falling off has had an effect on any of this. I can imagine there's a lot of stress that comes with that, because one second you're on top of the world and then the next second it's almost like you don't even exist. So you got all this fame but not many accolades to make up for it. On top of that, the mix of fame, money, and not being mentally stable, that can a lot of times lead to a very destructive path. Whether that played a part in the downfall and eventually arrest of Silento in this situation, I'm not sure. But yeah, the downfall of Silento. I was thinking him falling off was gonna end with the music and not with this crazy stuff, man. What do you think about this entire Silento situation though? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.